Nicole, I always have a problem because it just goes right to somewhere else. Do you want to just double check and make sure everything is
I'm on there for you, looking at
perfect?
everybody. Yeah.
Okay, and now I will share my commercial and we will start. I'm gonna share the sound, optimize the video. Actually, I'm not gonna optimize it. I'm gonna go to my commercial. Big screen.
It is not going live. So
It's
you,
LinkedIn takes a minute.
there you are. You're on YouTube. You're good. You want to share your screen?
I am sharing my screen and it says I am sharing my screen.
No, there's no screen getting shared. There's no commercial.
Let's do it again.
Let's be totally honest. You keep saying you'll get visible after things totally calm down, right? Meanwhile, your calendar is feral, like a crazy cat, all over the place. Colors, you can't even remember what they are anymore. Your inbox is totally on fire. Yeah, you wish you could set fire to it. And later has been lying to you for years because you know what? The truth is, you are the best kept secret, my friend. You're busy doesn't equal visible. Hard work doesn't magically broadcast itself across the radio waves. Nope. That's why the Brew and Stew Media Spotlight exists. That's right. A collaboration between Nicole Borghi and Colleen Stubbs. One booking, two podcasts, no pitching, no chasing, no pretending you enjoy the outreach. We know you don't. Nobody does. You show up, you talk like the authority you already are. Your message gets heard on purpose to an aligned audience. Stop waiting. Stop hiding behind the busy button and book your Brew and Stew Media Spotlight package now, because staying invisible is a choice and you're not going to do it anymore. You're going to be visible. You're going to be influential. Scan the QR code. Make that choice for the Brew and Stew package. Busy, booked, exhausted. Your inbox is screaming at you like a siren. Your calendar is still feral. Still calling yourself visible and you're just the best kept secret? Turns out I was right there with you, my friend. Wasn't getting seen, was just the best kept secret. Wasn't getting heard, definitely, kind of getting paid. But here, the magic, my friend. It's a collaboration between Colleen Stubbs and Nicole Borghi. The Voice Lab on the school platform shows you how to use podcast spotlights, summit stages, and simplified, yeah, that's right, simple outreach systems so your visibility actually works. Get seen, get heard, join the free Voice Lab on the school platform, and you're going to get it all. Because if you're working this hard, someone else should know about it. Scan the QR code today.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy holiday morning. So good to see everybody here. You can go ahead and unmute if you want. Come on screen. We love to see your beautiful faces on here. This morning we have Miss Mary as our guest speaker. And Mary, you and I go back quite a ways on here. Here. You've been a guest multiple times. Seems like just around every turn in your business, right? Every pivot. We're like, yay, let's share it with the world, right? Um, so Mary and I actually met, I think, in Women in Alignment. Is that right, Mary?
Yeah. I started hosting that networking call last October, and shortly after that, you started showing up.
Yeah. So we've been palling around and collaborating and intermingling quite a bit. And I love what Mary does. She does so much with mindset, but she also was a gymnast. She also loves horses. And she keeps it all put together and looking so well. And so, Mary, why don't you go ahead and give us a short intro to you and then a short intro into what you'll be teaching and sharing with us today.
Sure. Thank you, Colleen. This is so great to be here. Thank you, everybody, for being here at this fine hour in the morning on Monday on a holiday. And I just want to say that I am grateful to the connections that I've made, and Colleen is one of the best. So if you haven't engaged with her, I know you all have, but if you haven't gone any farther than that, keep going with her because she is always here to help. So that's what I know about her. That's what I've learned about her. So do that for you and for her. So a little bit about me. I am, as Colleen said, I'm a retired gymnast, gymnastics coach, gym owner. And in that whole life, I was really into personal development because, well, as a high level gymnast, you had to think positive. You had to be confident. You had to do all those things for yourself in order to keep moving forward, keep that goal in front of your mind. So personal development was a big piece of everything that I did in the gym. And as a gymnastics coach, I wanted to teach other gymnasts and gymnastics coaches that I didn't, see every single day in my four walls of my gym. So I started writing gymnastics books, and I started a publishing company around that. So that was the first business that I actually started was my publishing company, Iris Blue Publishing, and I wrote my books. I have a gymnastics series, and then I started publishing other people's books, and then I started publishing more of my own self-development books. So it just kind of evolved. And what I love now is that I have taken that gymnastics background and really merged it into self-development and helping people grow. So not only through their mindset, but also through books, through expanded audiences. I'm excited about what's next. So I'll segue into what's next. What I'm here to teach you a little bit more about is creating your own economy. And why that's important is because in 2010, when I started my publishing company, I just made it all up, right? I took what I was good at. I took my talents, I took my interests, and I created an economy around those things with my publishing company, with my books, with the gym that we started, and now with personal development. And it's evolving and it's really wonderful. So that's really what I'm going to teach you a little bit about today.
Very, very good, Mary. And I love that you say you just made it all up when you started because I feel like so many entrepreneurs do that And yet we don't want to say that, right? We want to be like, no, I had it all together. Um, the truth is, we don't really have it all together, right? When we're starting, most of us don't. I actually haven't met anybody, I think, that had it all together. And I say this coming from 37 years experience in building businesses. Even at the beginning of any one or any new collaboration, I'm like, I don't even know how it's going to go, but let's go, right? And we go and we compile it as we go and build it out as we go. And in doing that, the beauty is that you get to hear the feedback. You get to see from other people what they're looking for, what they really need in their business, and what they need in whatever they're doing. And so you can build it out to be tailored to their needs. And I think that's so important. So building a creator's economy, I think that you and I talked a little bit about this before. When I started online, and first found out about affiliate marketing, mind you, I'd been in retail. And so retail's a little different where I'm buying items at wholesale, and I tailored my business to do better than buying at wholesale. I'll touch on that for just a second because I know people are always interested in those facts also. So I would become somebody's best customer so that I got the first dibs on the goods, so that I got the discounted rate. I would buy in bulk, pay in cash, and pay in advance. So nothing ever ran on credit. So I got the very lowest rock bottom price, which was usually 15% below wholesale. And 15%, what's a big deal? Well, what that does is it allows me to not have to do the markup to resell, right? And so I went from an arena where I'm making a huge markup to learning about being an affiliate. And the affiliate is making, I don't know, 10, 20, 30% off the cost of whatever they're affiliating for. And so finding the balance in that, right? Realizing that I didn't have to put the work in. I didn't have to be the best customer. I just had to share whatever that was, affiliate for it, grow that stream of income. And so that was the beginning of creating my creator's economy online. And I remember getting like $3.37. And then one group, I got $7 every month for everybody that joined. And so I'm getting $28 a month from that, building up a little bit, told my husband, rah, I'm at $63 a month.
Let's go to pizza.
Well, and the thing is that regardless, $63 a month is something that I could pay for something with, but it was just one part of the puzzle, right? And then you build something else. And this is where the creator's economy comes in. And so go ahead and dive into that for us, Mary. What does that look like on your end?
Yeah, so economy creators, I was thinking about it was November of last year, and I was thinking about, okay, so what does 2026 look like? And I had been doing my membership inside of Magnet Mind Development, and things have been, running along smoothly. And then I was like, well, there's more, there's more, there's more. It's not just this membership. And so I started thinking about what does my economy look like? And I had been helping my high level mastery students do this exercise of creating their own economy and then creating a blueprint for them to help them exercise what it is that they needed to do in order to reach that goal. And so I was thinking about, well, what am I going to do in 2026? What is this going to look like? And so I had been hearing rumblings around me from all my friends and, and lots of people saying, start a podcast. And so I thought, maybe I should start a podcast. So I was listening to those things, just like you were saying, Colleen, listening to the things that people wanted from me. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to start a podcast. And then I talked to Lynn and I talked to other people about different things. And my podcast has now become a radio show. And so why I'm saying this is because when you make a decision to do something, and this is the first thing I really want you to understand, is when you make a decision to do something, resources, opportunities, new ideas, people flow in to help you execute on that decision. But if you don't make a decision, if I didn't decide to do a podcast, there would be no reason for this conversation with Linda happen, right? Or something like along those lines. And so that's really what happened. And really you can connect the dots looking backwards. Steve Jobs said that. You can connect the dots looking backwards, but you cannot see how you're going to do it looking forward. So as I looked backwards, I thought, well, decision is so integral because when we decided to open our gym in 2012, we didn't have any business opening a gym. We didn't have the money. We didn't have we had my knowledge. That's it. But my husband and I didn't have a building. We didn't have equipment. We didn't have all the stuff. But what we did was decide we're going to open a gym. And as soon as we decided to do that, everything fell into place. We started working towards that goal, and that goal started working towards us. People started saying, "Hey, let me give you money." The landlord of the building that I really, really wanted, our broker said, they don't rent to new businesses. That's not safe for them. And I sat down with the owner of the building and I gave him my business plan, and I was like, "Yay, you're going to do it, right?" And he leased his building to us. And so things just started happening. The universe responds to what we want as we are moving forward towards it. So decision is the first step in creating your economy. Colleen, have you noticed that in your life? Have you noticed
I
that when
have,
you make a
and I was,
decision, it comes?
yeah, and I was just going to interject. I'm glad I didn't interject it, but I just wanted to say that um, when we decided that we were going to start a rental business in Florida, and we had in Florida, this is key, and we had no money for a down payment. Who are we kidding? What
I
were
know.
we freaking thinking? We weren't thinking very well, but I said there's got to be a way to get property with no money down. And this was before the gurus came out and told you how to do this, right? I had no idea how to do this. So here's what I did. I did my research and found a list of tax evasion properties, foreclosures, and depressed sales. And I went to the people that owned those um, titles to the houses, owned the deeds. And I said, hey, I want to blah, 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 blah. Um, and came up with this plan. And then I need a backup plan. So I said to my dad, look, you're going to be the backup plan. I want you to go get your real estate license. I know you're retired, come out of retirement, get your real estate license. So if this flops, we can sell these bad boys and not take such a hit by having to pay 6% or whatever for selling them. So I would go to, I went to Countrywide, and I'd never dealt with a mortgage in my life. We always had paid cash for things. And I said to Countrywide, look, you've got this property. It's a depressed sale. I want to buy it. It is a piece of crap, but I'm going to go in and here's a list of 12 things I'm going to do in the next 6 weeks. And I'll have them all completed and I'll pay for these improvements on it. In 6 weeks, if these things aren't done, then I've made the improvements for you for free. If they are done, then we go under contract. And I own this house and I can rent it out and make payments and start our mortgage that way, but I don't have money to put down on it. Do you know how many people did this with me? Do you know how many companies did this with me? 22.
Wow,
Every single one I spoke to said yes.
that's amazing.
And who would even think of that, right? But you go in there and you're like, I'm going to do this thing. And you have this idea and you just pursue it. And you know what? What happens if they say no? Then they say no and you move on. But I
Yeah,
never had anybody say no.
yeah,
And it's bizarre because we're in Florida where property prices were ridiculously high. And what happened is over time, we grew a list of people waiting to rent from us because they knew that we kept our rent low and we did a really good, clean business and kept the houses clean and we did the lawns and all these things. And so as a property would come available, I would go, yeah, and we already have renters too. And that just made it more of a strength to do it with us, right? And so I think, yeah, you go into it, you just don't know. It kind of reminded me of like astrology, where you can't see all the little dots and the lines in between. You don't know until you're looking back and it makes sense, right?
yeah, yeah. And Colleen, that's such a great example because there would have been no reason for you to come up with that idea had you not decided this is what we're going to do,
Yeah. You
right?
just decide, hey, we're going to do this. And then you find a way. And if you don't know a way, then you trial and error, right? And what's the worst case scenario? You are in the same position, but it's better than being in the same position without an idea
Mhm.
of how to go forward.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just,
Well, you know it didn't work, right?
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so we have these big, someone wrote in the, Donna wrote, that's bold in the chat. And here's the thing, we have these great ideas and these desires, but if we're not bold enough to step forward and do them, then we're still in the same place. And so the second thing I want to talk about is identifying those limiting thoughts and ideas and beliefs that you have about yourself that cause you not to go after something like that, right? You could have talked yourself out of that, Colleen. You could have said, I've never dealt with a mortgage company. Who am I to say, give them this idea? Who am I to pitch this to them? But the fact of the matter is that you, even if you may have had those thoughts, you poo-pooed them. You said, no, 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 no. I want this. I want this. So the more that we can focus on that decision and that goal, the less those little thoughts and beliefs nagging at us, slowing us down, weighting us down, are going to kind of dissipate. The more we move forward in action, the more that we can just obliterate those limiting thoughts. Because when we make that decision and then follow it up by action, that's the thing. Colleen followed hers up by action. My husband and I followed ours up through action by looking for the place, by talking to the landlord, by buying all the equipment, right? And putting ourselves out there saying, we're coming, we are coming, right? And people respond to that. So, as we begin to make that decision, what small action step can you take now? What's one thing? Go look for the gym, go look for the building, go look for the house, go look for the depressed property, right? So, Colleen, did you immediately go into action when you made that decision?
I went into action immediately, but then what I realized is that it only takes one win to fuel. So much empowerment comes from one yes. And then let me say that, you know how old I was when I did that? Like I had to be young because who does think so hairy scary, right? I think I was 26.
Wow.
I didn't I didn't know. I don't think I'd even bought I had only bought a used car up until that point even. Like I had no business. I had no credit. I had no My husband worked for himself. We didn't have any like work history kind of thing. We just, yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, it just takes one action and then it's like a domino, right? It's the
Mhm.
momentum is built because you're like, oh my gosh, that worked. Boom. And then off you go, right?
Mhm.
And so really you can do that wherever you are in your life. I would love to see people drop in the chat what's one action that you could take to
Yeah.
start in any area of your business, what you're doing. Just one action that you could take that's going to move things, just move things. You don't have to know if it moves it sideways, forwards, if it makes you stall and go, let's not do this. What's one action you could take? I want to know those. And Carol said in the chat too, we get to make the decision, then make the decision right. I
Yeah.
love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for just a second because that's really important. The thing about decisions, we hem and haw and we go, is this the right path? Is this what I should do? Guess what? There is no right decision. The decision that you make is the right one. So decide that it's right. So follow up that decision by saying, this is right. And then keep going because we're the ones that decide if it's right or not. It's it.
And if you're going to sit and think about it, somebody else is going to be doing it. So you
Yep.
can either be the leader and the one doing it, or you can be the one going, hey, wait a second, I was thinking about that. And guess what? Nobody cares about that person.
Yep. I know. Well, and Colleen, you were 26 when you did this, and this was before Airbnb and all that
Oh,
business,
yeah,
yeah?
no. We
Yeah.
did monthly rentals.
Yeah.
We were doing monthly rentals, and I'd
Yeah.
never done that before. So it was all, yeah, it was fun. And we learned so much. Literally went to the hardware store and said, okay, the window casings are falling off. These were stucco homes. And so they have a little window casing, like a 4 by 4 inch window that goes a piece of cement that comes underneath the ledge on the outside. and those had all fallen off and you could see rebar. I'm like, I have to fix these. How do I fix these? And they told me, and you know what? It didn't turn out the first time. And so I knocked it off with a sledgehammer and did it again and did better. And who would think that I would be out there molding cement on a building? Like,
Yeah.
but I did it.
Yeah.
No.
It's amazing what you learn going along the way,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And another thing we learned is like, just like we were saying earlier, is like people wanted central air. Well, these homes were built in 1950 and didn't have central air. So we had to learn how to lower ceilings and put air conditioning in. They didn't want the screw-in fuses. We had to learn to change out fuse boxes. But it's really knowing what your client wants and tailoring what you're doing to fit them.
Hmm. Yeah,
And that's a build
absolutely.
out you make along the way. And you do have the opportunity to say, is that going to work for me or is that not? So in the chat, Nicole says, turn on the camera and go live. And Samantha says, network.
Hmm.
And that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
Those are the
Yeah.
answers we have right there.
Well, Colleen, we met networking.
We did meet networking. I met Lynn networking. I met Donna.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
I met everybody
Yep.
in here networking.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
Exactly. And here's the thing, everybody. Everybody in this room, I met through Colleen. Oh, just about.
I don't
Just
think I've
about
met you.
everybody in this room. And so you never know who you're going to meet in a networking situation that's going to keep extending their reach inside of your own network, right? Colleen, you're incredible that way.
And so is Lynn. We have a lot of people
Yep.
in here that really do
Lynn
that.
is phenomenal. Yeah.
So
But I
when
met Lynn through you.
this is true. This is true. She's my greatest gift to lots of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Giving her away left and right. And so when we're looking at the economy creator, the idea is to create our own. Tell me if I'm getting this right. The idea is to create our own economy. And so if we come online and we do only one thing, if I had my boutique and I only sold jeans, then I would really be limiting myself because when the Buffalo plaid um, travel bags came out, I couldn't sell those. But if I include that, then I have another stream of income. And
Right.
so carrying that over online, when we're looking at online, is it only one thing you're doing? And I'm not saying broadcasting because it may be that we broadcast that I do CRMs. I simplify
Mhm.
CRMs, right?
Mhm.
But then when I'm in with my client and they say, oh my gosh, I'm so hairy scary because of this. And I just have a hard time getting up in the morning. I'm like, oh, you know what else I have? I have a healthy routine journal. Here, let me give you that too.
Yeah.
Or they say, I'm just not getting visible. I'm like, oh, you know what else I have? I have Voice Lab. Let's get in there and teach you how to speak. And so is that the creator or the economy creator that you're talking about, where we're creating multiple streams of income within our own?
All of it. I'm talking about all of it, including a balanced life. Because if anyone knows me pretty well, you know that I love horses. And I just got my second horse at the end of the or at the beginning of this year. So January 1st, Ben is a new member of our family. And these horses, I go to the barn every morning going right after this. And so I go to the barn every morning and that recharges me. So that's something that I absolutely love. So I highly, highly suggest that balance is a huge part of your economy. So here's a quick little exercise that you can do is put yourself in the middle of a circle in the middle of a page and then make little satellite lines and circles about the things that you want in your life. You are the center of your economy, you're the center of your life. And so this exercise can house so many different facets of you. What do you want in your life? Well, I would have horses on one. I have my gymnastics book, so Iris Blue Publishing on another one. And I have Magnet Mind Development on another one. And Economy Creators is a part of Magnet Mind Development, but still it's another one because it's my podcast and now radio show. And then I have a co-authored book that I'm facilitating and publishing this year about economy creators. And so there are so many things around that me that I can put in there. And the key is don't put the stuff that you don't want on this sheet. Don't put the stuff that you see in your life that you don't want. Only put the stuff that you want. And part of it is, hey, I want a healthy body. Put that on there. Wellness, health, happiness. Are you happy? Put happiness on there. Put family growth or whatever it is that you want in your life. So, and to your point, Colleen, about multiple sources of income, yes, absolutely. So I started as the author of this book, but then I said, well, if I'm the publisher too, I can not only publish these books, but then I can go out and publish these books and I can publish other people's books and then I can do co-authored books and then I can do different things for different people and editing services and typesetting services and all of those things. And this economy just I created out of that starting in back in 2010. And then out of my whole experience as a gymnastics coach and gymnast, we opened our gym in 2012. And so that expanded everything and that expanded into personal growth. And had I not been a gymnastics coach trying to help my gymnasts and the coaches who worked for me expand their personal growth, I wouldn't have evolved into personal development the way that I had. So then I became a Procter Gallagher consultant. And so all of this blossoms into something great, but you have to see that you are the center of your economy. If you think your job is the center of your economy, then you stop. You're not, you put a ceiling on yourself. Your job is not your economy. You are your economy. Does that make sense, Colleen?
That does. And I want to share a graphic just for anybody that this would be helpful for. I just want to share this real quick. Um, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so this is, you're going to put yourself right here in the center and then the different things. And so I may have my CRM here, and then I may have some coaching off of that. I may have some web design off of that. I may have some VA services off that, right? And then I may put my rental house here, and I may have a couple things off of that. And you just put your different things that all that come off of you into those and then break off of them. So I would challenge everybody to do this. Take a minute and do this today or this week. Sit down and create your own mind map. And then come back and look at it every day. Hang it where you can see it so you can see it build out. And so I don't think anybody does. Let me just ask it this way. Does anybody in here live solely off of one stream of income and not counting yourself as one stream?
No.
Does anybody have just one stream of income? No. So this is the thing, is that is where your greatest success falls. It's also not in putting all your eggs in one basket, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
when things don't go so well in one, you've got balance, right?
Well, yeah, and the point is to do what you love because you're going to love doing it. And when you love doing it, you're going to get better at it. And when you get better at it, people notice and people want to be around you. And you're right, Colleen, not every stream of income is going to be the biggest because for instance, this is the first book that I published. This is the second book. This book always makes more money than this book because new people buy this book and then if they like it, then they go on to this book, right? So not every stream of income is going to be the same as the other. Personal development obviously is a higher price point. Publishing books is a higher price point than publishing my own at some points, right? So it's all of these all of these streams of income are not going to be equal, but go after the things you love. Don't go after something that's just going to be a quick dollar because that dissipates. Go after what you love. Go after something that's going to really make you excited and make you want to do it because we have to enjoy ourselves. We're here to enjoy life. We're here to create something incredible for ourselves and for our families. Let's enjoy it, right?
Absolutely. And that's where the balance comes in. And I want to just say, Deborah on LinkedIn says, make a decision and have that first conversation. And Julie says, plug yourself in. And then we go on to say, be consistent. You build it and the people will come. What do you think about that, Mary? Do you think if you just build it, people will come?
Well, that's kind of what happened with our gym because we built it and yes, people came, but I also had a name. I was recognized because I was a collegiate athlete in this town. And so people knew who I was. I had coached at other gyms. And so the word of mouth spread. But the
Hmm,
fact
like
is,
networking,
pardon?
like networking.
Yeah, networking. It
Oh,
was kind of a natural networking because, and here's the thing about networking, if you're absolutely loving what you do, I loved being the owner of the gym. I loved all of that. I felt like a rock star when I walked into a U of A gymnastics meet. I was like, hey, everyone would be like, Mary, it's Mary, right? And so when you do that, when you do what you love, people notice. And then networking becomes easy because it's not just a, hey, this is who I am. It's a, oh, that's that person. That's that person. Like Colleen, you probably know this from your boutique experience, yes?
yes, absolutely. And the thing is I see it in the online world too. When you exemplify what you're doing, meaning you put it into play and into practice in everything that you do, um, when it just comes from you,
Yeah.
then people know that and they're drawn to it and they do. So I would say, like, yeah, I think people just come. You build it with your heart and soul, and people come.
Yeah. Well, and when you build something with your heart and soul, you're being authentic. People are drawn to authenticity. People are drawn to people who love what they're doing. People feel that energy, and that's the energy. So if you just get a job selling life insurance because you just want to sell life insurance because you think that's going to bring some money in, your heart isn't in it. But if you have a why do I want to create a better life for all these people? Why do I believe that it's important that this family is set up for their future? And all of those things, bless you, and all of those things. You know, when you have a why behind what you're doing and a love for what you're doing, there's no stopping you because not only are you speaking your truth, but people are seeing you speak your truth. And that's an energy that is infectious, and people want to be around that.
Yeah, I love that. And so, one of the things I always say is that I help people to build a business and a life that they're madly passionate about. I want
Yeah.
you to be madly passionate about both of them. And in the comments, Deborah said, Zig Ziglar said, don't ever chase money, you'll never catch it. Rather, chase helping people, and money will chase you. And I think that as you're creating your business, as you're building things out, that if you find a solution that you can absolutely stand behind, that you just love, then that makes all the world a difference in how you represent it to other people, right? And
Yeah.
so building your business based on that solution is huge. Um, Mary, I'm going to let you share any last thoughts. No, let's not do that. I have questions for you, and I haven't.
Okay.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Like,
Okay.
if you're here for comfortable, this isn't the place to be. Okay, you ready? Number
Yep.
one, what's the one thing everyone in the industry is doing that you think is completely BS, and why are they still doing it?
I think they're chasing money, like you just said. I think that they're doing things because they think it's going to make them money. And I think that they need to follow what they love. If they create a mind map that you showed up or showed earlier, and that little satellites and those types of things of ideas of things you can do, and just start the spinning of the plates, right? Get one thing going, start that spinning, and then once it's spinning, move to the next thing. So I got my publishing company going. I did that, and then I got the gym going, and we did that, and they kept going together. So don't just do something because you think it's going to bring you a quick buck. Do something because you love it. Start there because it's authentic and people are going to listen and you're going to want to do it.
I love that. Now, I just got an email, must have been last week, from Go High Level that was really promoting, like, just get customers brought in to Go High Level. Get them in, get lots and lots of customers in Go High Level. This is what you need to do, is just get them all in so you can make this ton amount of money. And I literally laughed. I'm in a room by myself laughing at this email, laughing out loud. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, because I do the exact opposite. I only take 3 clients a month because I specialize in customer care.
Yep.
And I want my clients to be confident inside their system. So I want to take the time to really just teach it to them, right? And so I've never been in it for the big bucks. It was so funny to see that. I don't have a problem with the clients coming in, but I really limit them. And I'm okay with saying, hey, we're booking for February now or March or however that looks, right? But
Mhm.
I think that's interesting because I do see a lot of people just chasing the dollar.
Yeah,
And at the end of the day, that's not who I want to do business with and anything
right.
that I'm doing.
Well, and it leads to
Yeah.
burnout
Yeah.
because you don't love what you do.
I think that a big difference I can see that maybe people will relate to is like you go to Walmart, you go in, everything's competitively priced, you get what you want, the customer service isn't top notch. Let's be honest, the floors are sticky. I mean, it's just not, it's not empowering to me as a person to go into Walmart. But when I go into one of my favorite upscale stores, let's say that I go to Coach and they open the door for me, they greet me by the name, they show me what I like as soon as they see my face because they know me and they know what I like. And they're like, oh, and it did come in pink. And come over here and let me get you your water and do this. And they total different experience, totally empowering to me as a shopper, right? And as a
And no
client.
sticky floors.
No sticky floors. They're actually carpeted. Let's go there. So I think that that experience that we're delivering when we're not chasing money is huge, right? And
Yeah.
it's bringing in money. I mean, it's like the best kept secret. It's still bringing in money.
Mhm.
Okay, so what's a mistake you made that cost you serious money or time that you kept making anyways because you were either too proud or too scared to admit that it wasn't working?
Yeah. Oh, when we started the gym, I listened to everybody, like, how do I do this? What do I do? What do I do? And I followed what other people were doing rather than really, really trusting my instincts that this is how we do it. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. And following my instincts, I learned through those mistakes. I kind of hated my business for a little while at the beginning because I wasn't doing it the way that I thought it should be done right from the get-go. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think that that thing that you do differently than what everybody says is what number one sets you apart. Number two brings you success.
Hmm.
When I put in Chicken Lips, my boutique, so many people in the community said things like, you're never going to make money here. Nobody's paying $100 for a plate. Um, you need to put in booths and have little antique booths. We have those stores all over. That's what everybody loves. Um, we have a Walmart, we have a Dollar General. We don't need a store like this here. Nobody here in the community is going to shop. And I said, you know what? I only need 8 people to shop with me. And I want to create a store that I want to shop at. I don't care about Walmart and Dollar General. I drive 2 hours to buy a gift because I don't want to shop there. And I was very successful,
Hmm.
And so it's those things when you go against the grain, but you're following your intuition. And yes, we need to be brave. We need to stand up in our own truth and be like, no, this is what I want to do. And what happens when we do that is we do it comfortably and confidently because it's actually an integral part of us.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to copycat and having to go check and see how they're doing it. As a matter of fact, when I owned Chicken Lips, a couple other in the 7 years that I had Chicken Lips, we probably had 6 other boutiques that opened for no more than 6 months each because they didn't have a good business plan, but they would pop up. And I would say to them, if they came and saw what I had, and you could see them, they come in with their phone and they scan something, and then they go buy the same thing to have in their store. And I would, when they did that, I would go to them and say, would you like to buy my merchandise? Or would you
Hmm.
like to sell me yours at cost? Because I'm not going to sell the same stuff. And so if I clearance mine out in this small town, you're not going to sell any of yours. So option is yours. You either buy mine or I buy yours, but I'm not selling the same thing. And people are like, what? Wait, what? We bought this because you were doing good with it. I'm like, absolutely. So do you want it? Because I'm happy to give it to you and move on.
Yes, and that brings up such a great point, Colleen. Creation versus competition, because they thought that they could beat you only by competing with you head to head with the same merchandise.
Yes.
But what you were doing was creating, saying, no, I want my unique experience. I don't need to compete with you for my customer. I need to be me for my customer. And that is what the beauty is of it.
Absolutely. And the lady that stayed in business the longest added floral and a coffee shop inside her business.
Yeah,
And she did well with them. Did I add those things? No, but I went down to the coffee shop and shopped.
right,
Take my
right.
lunch break and go get me lunch and I'm down at the coffee shop. And so it's that being creative that really frees you in so many ways when you believe in yourself and it builds confidence. Okay, one last question for you, and then we're going to open it up to the floor. So if anybody's been sitting there with questions, that'll be your chance to ask. If you could give one piece of advice to someone in the online industry, but it would piss off half the people, half your peers, what would it be, and why is it worth the backlash?
I would say what we just talked about is follow your intuition, be yourself, follow your gut, follow your passion, because you know what? Who cares what everybody else is saying and doing and all the gurus? Because what you are is unique. And so you are equipped with this unique spirit saying, do this. And we have this backup plan, which is ourselves. And we have this. So trust yourself. Go out there and do it. It doesn't matter if no one else is doing it. It's better that way. So go out and do your own thing. Be unique. Embrace you, because bet on yourself. Bet on yourself, because you were given this desire to express it to the world. And so many people say, follow this path, follow this, do exactly what I say, and do exactly what I tell you, and you'll be successful. Guess what? It doesn't work for most people because they don't have that passion behind it. So follow your passion, follow your gut, follow your intuition, and trust yourself.
I agree with that. And I think that it took a minute to get comfortable saying, yeah, but I'm doing it my way. When you
Mhm.
start and it's messy and it's a little bit not the end vision you had, it's not clean around the edges and aesthetically pleasing, or however that it was that you want. And I say aesthetically pleasing just because I was thinking of my boutique. But, you know, being able to say along the lines, yeah, I'm doing it my way though, and being confident in changing that to evolve, and saying we're still going to do it my way. I'm going to do it my way, and it's not for everybody. I The greatest thing that happens in my business that other people do for me is to unsubscribe.
Yeah.
It just is. I welcome
Yeah.
that with open arms, please
My
leave.
message is not for everybody,
It is
right?
not, and I don't want it to be.
Yeah.
I just want a small group that believes in me as much as I believe in them and believe in myself. And that's narrowing that down is key to success. I love when people leave. So, Deborah says on LinkedIn, passion precedes you. That's very correct, Mary. And so let's open this, and then we're going to leave you 2 minutes at the end to wrap it up and close this up. Does anybody have any questions, either on LinkedIn or on the live? Just if you want to share your questions, raise your hand. We have Donna. Donna, you can go ahead and unmute, please.
Hi, Donna. Good to see you.
You too, Mary.
Thank
Um,
you.
I have my list right here of what do I want in my own economy in 2026. And your content today has, I've got about a page and a half of notes, and some of them are ideas that have bubbled up. So my question to you would be, what tips do you have about how we can go about bubbling up those ideas? And then once you bubble them up, how do you pick the one you want to move forward on? Like there's a lot on this list.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
any thoughts about that?
Well, bubbling up ideas is being willing to listen to those ideas as they pop up, first and foremost. Making a decision really helps generate those ideas. So if you have a decision that you make in the sense that I want to start a podcast, I'll just use that, right? Then ideas about who to reach out to, ideas about what you're going to talk about are going to pop up. More ideas are going to bubble up because you put a path in front of yourself. You have a destination, and so the path will kind of start revealing itself, and ideas will show up that way. Another exercise that you can do is imagine what it looks like when that end goal is achieved, and then look and see, imagine what that looks like. And then you'll see those little pieces of things that kind of plug into it, right? So when I created my publishing company, I was like, oh, well, I want to write gymnastics books. And so I have that little bubble up, right? And then I had, ooh, I'm going to publish other people's books. My sister had books. I was like, let's publish, right? So all these things, all these ideas started being generated because I had a destination. And then choose the one you love right now. That's what to go after first. Choose the one you love right now And then when you have that umbrella thing of what you love, all the little pieces, all the little ideas that fit underneath that umbrella are going to be the things that you do next. Does that make sense?
Totally. It's
Yeah,
good. I
good.
like the last one. Choose what you love. I
Yeah.
like that a lot.
Yep, that's always going to set you up for success.
I think that when you choose what you love, that really, I'm sorry. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. I think that when you choose what you love, that really just does set you up for success, and it's motivational to you, and you won't look back and be like time wasted because you're actually doing something you love. It also brings balance, right? You don't have to strive so hard for balance when it's something that you love.
Hmm. That's right. That's
All
right.
right, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Hello, this is really not so much a question as it is a comment. I think that I met Mary here, and I thank you for that, Colleen. I mean, honestly, what a gift. And I kept trying to follow up with her and wasn't successful for a long time. But you know, when you have something really good, you continue to go after it. And the conversation I had with her could still be going on today. It was that interesting. It was absolutely incredible. So I think that anybody who hasn't taken the time to have a conversation with her, you have no idea what you're missing. But I want you to know that what I was really inspired about was listening to her story. She had had success as a gymnast. She had had success when she opened that gym. But then something completely outside her realm came along, like COVID, that took everything away. And there would be a lot of people who would still be whining and complaining about how all the world did them wrong. But she didn't do that. She did not let that define who she was. She said, I want to become successful. And she just pivoted and did something else, always keeping her integrity of everything that she had done in the past. Very, very inspiring woman. Look so forward to this radio show because here's what I think the radio show is going to do for her. It's going to broaden the amount of people that can hear from her constantly and learn from her. And when you have little treasures like that, you want to make sure that everybody you know gets to hear and learn from them. So, Mary, I want you to know that you inspired me so much. And I'm just really grateful that I stayed after having that conversation with you because it really was a great conversation.
Aw,
Well, I encourage you, do it today, guys.
thank you, Lynn. I really, really appreciate you. You're such a wonderful person. And thank you. I appreciate everything that you just said. That is so wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't reached out to Lynn, I'm sure you all have, but do it.
I hope that
Do it again.
I hope everybody's using the chat. Drop your information. This is a unique networking situation because we're not necessarily networking. We are learning from the best in that industry and then also sharing our information in the chat so people can connect with you. Katie, I would like you to stay afterwards for just a second if you can, because I don't know you and I would like to get to know you and I didn't.
Oh, Katie's awesome.
That. Um, and then Mary, I
Just
want you to
saying.
wrap it up for us. I did like what Masango said. I'm going to share that with you really quick. He said on LinkedIn, economy creators is a portfolio of investments.
Yeah. Portfolio of investments in yourself, right?
Yeah, and the things that are all paying you back, right? So
I love that. Thank
yeah, I
you.
really like that comparison. I thought that was very
Yeah.
good. All right, Mary, bring it home. Tell us about your radio station. Tell us where to find you. Make sure you drop all that in the chat because so many people want to know.
Awesome. Well, I just did. I just put everything in the chat. I have Iris Blue Publishing. So if you are interested in writing an ebook all the way up through co-authoring a book with me, that would be awesome. Just reach out to me. Let me know. I have the radio show. I'm looking for people who are creating their own economies, who are interested in just sharing what they're doing, their inspirational story with the world, how you step out in courage and buck the system and say, let's go, let's do the thing that I'm passionate about and build that around you. That's who I am featuring on the radio show. And I'm so excited about doing that. And the fact is that people need a little bit of encouragement along the way. And so every month, at the first week of every month for 5 days, I take people through Economy Creators, which is just a path of how you figure out what it is that you want. They figure out what's holding you back. you figure out the self-image of the person who has what you want, and then you start forming that economy around yourself, and then you start taking action. So if you're interested in doing that, I'll put that in the chat as well. But Magnet Mind Development, you can find that there, magnetminddevelopment.com and irisbluepublishing.com. I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, I am anywhere Colleen is, so let me
I love
let
that.
me
And I
know.
know where Mary is. I think I was invited to be a podcast guest.
Yes, you have been.
I thought that I was. And then also Lynn says she would like for you to call her, please, when you get a minute. And
Okay, well,
Nicole and I also need to meet with you, Mary. So
okay.
this is very
Sounds great. Sounds
beneficial.
great.
Katie, do you want to take a minute and introduce yourself? And Samantha, you as well. So 3 introductions. If you can each keep it like about 45 seconds. And I cannot say the other name. Mahendra,
Oh, Mahendiran.
say that one more time. Mahendra.
Mahendiran.
Mahendran. If
Yeah.
the 3 of you will please take 45 seconds to introduce yourself, that would be amazing. Go ahead, Katie.
Hi there. Good morning. My name is Katie Watford. I am a celebrity and brand style strategist. So I help female founders get dressed confidently in under 5 minutes, but they show up looking like the woman on their vision board. This isn't fashion, it's actually fashion psychology. So that way you help scale your visibility and feel safe being seen as you're building your legacy. It's nice to meet you.
I love that,
Katie
Katie.
is awesome, and she was my stylist. I'm just saying.
I love that. Thank you so much, Katie. Samantha, are you available and ready?
Hi everyone, I'm Sam. I go by the name Eco Sam. Art is my activism. I have been watching the Jungle Bee slash just outside of my home here in Belize over the last year, and so I decided to do something about it. I sell my sustainable home decor for and put 50% of all net profits towards buying land to keep it wild. I'm also working on all kinds of other eco projects at the moment, and I just love to connect with everybody.
I love that. And so you probably need to connect with like Deborah and April too. I think you know them. If you don't, you should try to get to know them. Hello, welcome, Tawana. And I'm going to try one time. Mahindiran, I'm probably slaying that. Are you available to come on speaker and share?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay. Alrighty then, Mary, I'm going to give you the last, let's just take another minute or two and close us out.
Sure. Thanks, Colleen. And thank you for being here, everybody. Thank you all, because this is so wonderful. I love highlighting anybody and everybody who is excited about what you're doing in your life and being an economy creator yourself. So I put in the chat, if you want to apply to be on my podcast, I would absolutely love to feature people who are loving what they do and creating something around themselves. And if you are interested in writing a chapter in a co-authored book about what you do and be interviewed on the radio and go through this whole thing, I would love for you to reach out to me, because I am actively seeking the co-authors to write in the book that's going to be coming out in December of this year. So find me on magnetminddevelopment.com. You can find me on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Very, very good. Thank you. Thank you. And for those of us who are just now joining us, we